Everybody, welcome back. I'm really late on getting this video out about the mini bike project. We're going to do a final review for this season on this project. I'm also late on getting the other project, the generator installed in the RV. It's getting ready to get some real world testing here very soon. It's done. I had to correct a couple of things. Tested it a little bit here and there, and it's working out pretty good, but I'm going to do a final review on that as well. That's a little bit overdue. Some things come up. I wrecked the RV a little bit. Hey, I had to stop and fix it and other stuff. Back to the mini bike. Okay, around the garage here, me and my buddy have a saying, you know, when something has been conquered and the repair's been successful, we say, hey, you know, it's like, who's winning, you know, the guy fixing it or the project? Who's got the upper hand? Well, when we're finally successful and something's fixed and working again, we congratulate ourselves and we say, we win. I'm saying I won with it. It's not perfect. It does run. It's a little bit dangerous. So hang on a minute. Okay, I'm back. We started with a bike that had been in somebody's shed for, actually I think it was in somebody else's shed for some years, and then somebody else acquired it and it was in their shed for some years. It hadn't run in a long time. If you've watched the series, you know, it didn't even have an engine on it. The controls, you know, the throttle was frozen up. The brake handle was missing. So no brakes, no operable throttle, no engine. This shaft in here, the secondary shaft in here was, the bearings were all wiped out, and the thing was all just banging around in there. The chain was rusted, you know, where it didn't pivot like it was supposed to. So there was a lot going wrong with this thing. Now, so we've corrected all that. New chain, new bearings for that, fixed the brakes, fixed the controller. Got an engine on it now, and I think where we left off at was the engine was, it would try to fire. It wouldn't stay running because a carburetor issue. So I did put a new carburetor on it, and this whole little device over here, this throttle plate, there was a different style on there because this engine was on a different application. This style is rigged up for a throttle cable, the proper return spring, and let me operate it here. See, throttle's on and springs back like it's supposed to. So that is actually Tecumseh's. That's a Tecumseh engine. This is a new old stock from the Tecumseh inventory. The correct throttle plate for when this engine came on mini bikes and go-karts. So that is the proper throttle plate for that, along with the new carburetor. Now, it runs. It's dangerous. Let's go around the other side for a minute. Okay, I have the belt just up here hanging on the handlebars. I have it off for right now for safety's sake. The one issue that makes the bike dangerous is this thing was designed, it's a spring-loaded, it's supposed to work like a clutch. Well, it doesn't. Maybe it did when it was new, but it doesn't work that way anymore. Let me try something here. Just a minute. Okay, this is spring-loaded. This pulley is, come on, spring-loaded. And it was oiled up and working pretty freely. But I don't understand how this works, and I'm not even going to try at this point. It's not like a variable drive to where when one pulley closes, the other one opens, and vice versa. Like if you're speeding up, or when you're slowing down, then the opposite, the other one closes and the other one opens up. So that's a fixed pulley. I don't know how this variable pulley is supposed to work. It just don't make any sense. I had one belt on it. It just fit, barely. It hardly put any tension on it, and it really wasn't enough tension for it to grip. I could rev the engine up, and the bike would go. It would kind of slip, and if it was on a level, you could ride the bike. But if you try coming up any of these hills in the yard, you know, it slipped so bad that, you know, you couldn't come up hills. So what I did was I got the next smaller belt. it's 1 inch, just 1 inch. The very next size down. It's 1 inch smaller. Now, the thing is, the belt has to be short enough that it goes on here kind of tight, at least enough to start engaging this spring. Otherwise, there's no pressure for the belt to grip. So I can only push that in so far one-handed, but so that was it. This little bit shorter belt actually gripped it a little bit, but the trouble is there's nothing to influence anything here to tell it to stop gripping. It's not like there's a clutch or something to relieve to pull this back. That's what would make this thing work. Is if it was like a clutch and throw out bearing where it had a fork, and when you pulled a clutch cable, that it would pull this back, then it would slip. Then you could come to a stop. But when it stays engaged all the time, it's you hit the brakes, and it's hard on the brakes. It's a good thing that I have this kill switch up here, because that 5 horsepower engine, even at idle, and with this fully engaged, the brakes, it bogs it a little bit, but it's really hard on that old brake, and I don't want to ruin it. So to stop, I have to hit the kill switch and come to a stop. Or if I want to slow down, hit it briefly and then let go of it to keep going. It's just dangerous that way. So nothing is disengaging the belt. And so the solution is going to be, I might fire it up here and just show you it runs and it'll ride, but I think next season, and let me back up. I'm considering this a win because I took this thing from sitting in a shed, all these issues going on with it, and I've got it to running condition. It is rideable. I can go for a ride in their yard. A little bit dangerous, but so from not working to working, I'm going to consider that a win for the season. Now, it's going to get put away for the winter. I mean, fall's coming. I'm getting ready to start traveling again. So it's going to get put away till next season. And what I'm going to do is just I'm going to just get rid of these pulleys. I'm going to put a centrifugal clutch on here and a chain and another sprocket back here and put a guard. They should have a guard on it anyway, even with belts. But I'm going to convert it to a centrifugal clutch and a chain sprocket setup, like 99% of mini bikes and go-karts are. This is a really unique setup here. I've never seen this before. I've been around my share of mechanical things in my lifetime. I've never seen one of these before, and I have no idea how it's supposed to engage and disengage automatically. Like I say, I can see how you could make it work manually if you had a throw-out bearing and a fork, that a cable work to open that up, but I'm not going to try to understand it, really. It's just going to get converted next season. But for now, it does run. Let's see what happens. I did turn the gas on here a few minutes ago, and we're going to turn some choke on. It should start in 1 or 2 pull. Well, it's been sitting for over a month. I set it to the side for a while. But we're going to give it a pull or 2, and it better start, or this video is going to end sadly. I'm going to make sure it starts and maybe warm it up for a minute before I go putting that belt back on it. Okay, choke's on. 1, come on. Uh-oh. So here's how I have to cheat to get this to start, because like I say, once this is on, it's engaged. So how do I get it started, right? So I'm gonna cheat and put this belt in here, spread this pulley as best I can, and jam the belt way down in it. Okay, now that's loose. Now the trouble is, what's going to happen is it's loose, so it'll start. But as soon as I start rolling the mini bike forward, I have to do that with my feet. Okay. As soon as I start rolling the mini bike forward, and this belt starts moving in here, this pulley's gonna start coming together, and then this is gonna start tightening up, and it's gonna grab just like you pop the clutch out. It's such a so hopefully I can pull out. I can just give it a fast get going, enough to where when it suddenly engages that it doesn't stall out. So I got to try to get speed, and this little bank going downhill is going to help. Oh God, here we go. And I did break the kickstand off again. We're back to using the block. I'm gonna have to re-weld that or come up with a new design. Uh-oh. What happened? Alright, ready for this? Alright, it runs, it's fun, a little dangerous. I have to hold the kill switch down and apply the brakes at the same time and then as I come out of the turn I can let my finger off the kill switch, and I gotta watch it don't slow down too much because then it won't stay running again. So it's maintaining speed, a certain amount of speed, braking, slowing, but not too slow. It's a mess. It was fun. So it's a win. But it's getting put away. It's getting put away. I'm gonna probably go through it again next season, change some things, maybe freshen it up, maybe fresh tires. But I've brought it back from the dead, and a person could actually have fun with it again, at their own risk, of course. Alright, that's it for this video. I'll be back with that generator video soon. We'll get that wrapped up. Some changes were made there. It's really worked out great. A couple things I miscalculated on, but I made a couple adjustments. It's great now. Anything else? Nah. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, please. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.